Making Digicore is honestly one of the easiest things on the planet as long as you know what you're doing. However, a collective amount of Digicore producers maybe counts to like 4, which is still more than the amount of TF2 devs. So hopefully after this video there will be at least one more mentally ill individual who will boost the amount of Digicore prods by a whopping 25%.
Digicore simplified.
First of all, lay out a chord progression. In my case, it's probably the most overused one in Digicore, which is 6-1-4-5. And if you don't know anything about these crazy numbers, it's basically 6th, 1st, 4th and 5th note in your scale. So to simplify it, FL Studio has a built-in feature called scale highlighting. In this example, the progression has our 1st playing as a 2nd note. So we can see that it's a D. So we're in D major. What we're gonna do now is right-click the little note here, select major Ionian, and then root note D. Now we have all the notes in D major highlighted. And now we're gonna learn how to count these notes. We're gonna count from D as our 1st note because we're in D major again. So E is 2nd, F sharp is 3rd, and so on up until C sharp, which is 7th. This helps a ton, and trust me, using it will speed up your workflow by a ton if you can't come up with melodies. So after I made the progression, I copied all the notes and put them 7 notes higher to create so-called perfect 5th for some nice harmonic sound. And for the pluck melody, try to mainly use 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 5th note in your scale. You'll see me basically experimenting a lot, but that's what making music is all about, so feel free to experiment until you find some nice groove. On a different note, silence is an instrument, so use it to your advantage. Now the second pluck will also use a 7th to enhance the main one. And actually the best tip I can give you is to not just randomly place notes. Try to hum your melodies, come up with them in your head first, and then try to complement each sound instead of overshadowing it. All the sounds are supposed to make you feel cozy, not overwhelmed by any means. Keep the main pattern the same, and then maybe change it up a bit on the last bar, and you should have a very good basis afterwards. For the bass, I'll use 2 different ones. The first one will be a Reese bass and the second one will be a pluck for the rest of the beat. Now copy the bass notes from your pluck and don't be scared to experiment with octaves. By pressing Ctrl and arrow up or down, you move 1 octave higher or lower. Also by pressing Alt-L, you will extend the notes. Oh, and by the way, yes, I know it is misaligned and that it somehow got into the final beat. I don't know what I was on, not noticing it beforehand, but it just on to the next pluck. This one's a bit different because it plays 3rd and 4th in a pattern. And you don't usually use 4ths in melodies because it's garbage. However, don't limit yourself. Lead took me some time and it will for you too, but this is where you can truly express yourself. Again, 1, 2, 3, 5 and 7. Remember this. 4th is only sometimes useful. And by the way, all presets and the FLP is available in my newly released Serum Bank Stellar. So if you want to explore the project, check the link in the description. Enough of the shameless plug. I gotta pay the bill. This took a while, so in the meantime let me teach you how to make your notes slide. You open up Serum, check both mono and legato and play around with the amount with this knob. That's how simple it is. Now that it finally sounds like Digicore, add a bass pluck that of course follows the bass notes. But here, every second bar, I cut the ending of the note to get some dynamics. Oh yeah, and also, I made the ending with that nice little rhythm. Just listen to this. Ba ba ba. Hi-hats are very important, but leaving them as a 2-step is also nice. However, playing around and matching them into the groove is even better. Try to match them to your bass, but if it's not complex, just try to figure out in which places it's better to be faster, in which places you need some more space. Balance is key. For claps or snares, depending on which one you'll use, the most simple trabby pattern gets the job done. For the kick, the easiest thing you can do is to put it every time bass kicks in. Now, let's get to mixing. First, select all your sounds by holding left-click over those rectangles, then click Ctrl+L to assign each a different mixer track. Now, while pressing Ctrl and holding left-click, drag across all the melody tracks without bass, choose an empty mixer track, right-click on this arrow pointing up and select Route to this track only. With that, we successfully routed all melody tracks into the single one that we'll put effects on. For effects, first of all use an EQ of your choice and cut all frequencies below 150 Hz. This will make your mix cleaner and more professional. Now at creme de la creme, the mighty OTT, the savior of our land, the one who'll bless us with his wisdom. For the blind, he is the way. Just for the love of God, I don't. Just use it. It's good. Trust me. You can copy my settings. Just use OTT. It's free. Nothing's stopping you. Now, the sidechain. First, you need to add your kick to an empty mixer track. Then, with it selected, navigate to your melody mixer track, right-click on the arrow you used before, but this time click sidechain to this track. Now, add Fruity Limiter to it, set it to comp, then right-click on sidechain and select your kick channel. Play around with threshold and ratio, this will be the strength of your sidechain. And if you don't know what sidechain is, it basically means kick play, everything else play quieter. Here's quick before and after. Oh, and also add an open hat. Now, right-click on the pattern and press S on your keyboard to split every single instrument to a separate pattern. We've basically got the hook done, so now I'll quickly go over arrangement. All of this is only my personal way of doing things, so you don't have to stick to it. Intro is 8 bars long and consists of no drums, then hook lasts 16 bars, after that we've got verse that lasts another 16 bars, 8 bars for the break, then it's hook again, and after that 8 bars for the outro. You don't need to add anything new to the beat for simplicity. This also makes sure every part of the beat is coherent and consistent. Whew. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this video helped you in some way to understand the basics of Digicore. Thank you so much for 1000 subs. It's been an amazing journey so far, and I'm very grateful for every single one of you who decided to click the subscribe button. With that being said, have a great rest of your day. Love you guys.